The video game industry has become one of the UK's biggest exports. It now generates more income than all the film industry in the UK put together. The variety of games available is prolific, from games that utilise touchscreen interfaces for single player to co-op competitions over the internet. From the early days of platform games with low-res sprites to the invention of the Oculus Rift VR and artificial intelligence, the gaming industry has changed dramatically over the years and is set to continue this trend far into the future. But what do people look for when playing video games?
Look for a great story, interesting gameplay. I'd like it to look good, but I think the story is kind of the number one thing I like.
Freedom. I like games where you can do what you want, and customisation. Those are the main things I like.
Good storyline, and I mainly look at the developer. If I like the developer, then I'll buy their game.
Something with non-linear, where you can have lots of choices to make that all have a completely different impact on the end game.
So how have video games become so advanced today?
I think it's the new and up-and-coming generation of kids, and they want more, better games consoles. Like, the technology is just advancing a lot more. People want more realistic, like looking, sounding, just different kind of games.
Because we keep developing new technology and virtual reality stuff that allows us to make more advanced things that atmosphere, and it allows to create a greater immersion.
Just the technology's improved, so you can do more.
I think mainly technology behind them. Better graphics now, and probably educational-wise, I think they find a lot very educational.
Well, it's just down to the technology. It means once the technology advances, you don't want to fall behind and work that is lesser. Like, if you've got a game that's for last year's technology and a new one comes out, that's it, you're obsolete immediately.
The video games industry is completely dependent on the available technology at the time. Do you think in the future the effects of advancements in technology will have a positive or negative effect on society?
It could be bad because people don't know how to ration it necessarily. People will go and binge and then they'll be lost to the world days because I've done it, so I know exactly what that's like. But it could be good because games are becoming more stimulating for different areas, like they're good learning. They can be brought into schools and can be brought into the education system a lot better now because the audience is so broad.
Bad, mainly people going to play games and go outside and exercise. Good, mainly for educational purposes and social aspects, really.
Technology's obviously improved, but some games are it's getting dumbed down a bit. You know, despite the advances in technology, some games are lowering themselves when they could be a lot broader. They're sort of like going for a simple user experience, and I think they don't make the most of technology sometimes.
I think there's a certain amount of oversaturation, like, in the market at the moment. Like, too many games are coming out. It's hard to find like good games. But I think VR is going to be quite a good tool in the future. It's going to like explode possibly if it sticks with that.
Well, it could be good because we keep getting more advanced technology to make even better games. But it could be bad because there might be a lot of games that don't use the technology to its full potential and aren't as good as they could be.
With hardware improving every day and games being inextricably linked to the software they run on, progress will become a double-edged sword in terms of social consequences. No one really knows what may happen in the future, but however it turns out, it will certainly have a profound and far-reaching effect on society. What will gaming be like in the future?
Oh, Oculus Rift and all that. Virtual reality, probably.
Like I said, probably like with VR and stuff. I think there'll be more of a push for indie games, smaller games, games that don't take as long to like play, instead of like the AAA games where you have to sit down for like 5 hours to get some sense of enjoyment out of the games. But yeah, I think the technology is going to improve, they'll look better. There'll be different types of like tools and stuff. But yeah.
No controllers. I think virtual reality is the next big thing. Touchscreens, everything. Maybe 4D, like blown in your face and smells. But I think it's looking good for the future, yeah.
Like a lot of virtual reality stuff to create massive immersion and like moving the character and using the things that the character's holding.
Well, you've got the virtual reality is starting to really pick up quite a bit now, and the headsets are starting to get smaller. It's starting to become more plausible to have that in your house. And obviously Google are developing a lot of stuff with virtual reality. They're doing their new OS with all the just do your emails in the air kind of thing, which is amazing. So I think that's going down that route.
With high-tech technology improving every day, do you think that gameplay is improving exponentially in line with the hardware developments?
Definitely.
It's changing. I don't know if it's necessarily improving, but it's definitely evolving with time.
So there we have it. We know that gaming in the future will change, but for the good or bad? I guess we'll find out in the future.